In this section of the GitHub repository, I'm going to be talking about compute services. And the compute services that I'm going to focus on are implemented as virtual machines and Docker containers. Now, in addition to that, there are a whole bunch of different tools and libraries that run on top of VMs and or containers in many combinations. And these are specific to bioinformatics. So this is one of the probably most complex parts of this repository. So I've tried to create a couple of maps through this content. So first of all, you can see that I'm still working on this section as of this recording. It's in progress. And here are the topics that are included. So there are a number of topics, starting with what I call raw virtual machines or compute engine, all the way up to sophisticated tools like the Broad's Terra.bio application, where you can run both Jupyter notebooks and or jobs at scale. Now this does relate to the reference architecture, and it really relates to the center section here, where I've just called it a dynamic compute cluster. And I've shown it with compute engine, but it's really a simplification. Like I said, you might have containers running on top of that. You might have libraries and or other applications running on top of that as well to manage your compute. Now, in addition to that, I've highlighted the Docker images, the deployment files, because capturing the configuration here is key for reproducible research, and sample data notebooks, which are Jupyter notebooks. Now, in addition to this, as I was developing this content, really for my own understanding, but I've shared it with a lot of people in the industry and they seem to have found it helpful, is I created a mind map. So this is done in a tool called MindMup. I know it's a little bit hard to read here, so you can just enlarge it in the repository. Now, eventually, when I get this refined a little bit more, this is just a screenshot, I will put the dynamic mind map here with links. Because again, this literally is the pathways that I discovered with the clients that I referenced in the beginning of this, that they are using GCP for implementing compute. So blue are GCP native services, green are services from the Broad Institute, and then the different color green is another group called Nextflow, and then there are some other services as well represented in pink and then in blue. So also I wrote an article just about my own discovery, kind of a hello world. I was using the BLAST-N tool. So you notice it's called BLAST 10 Ways Adventures in Bioinformatics Tool Deployments. I really wanted to take a tool that was simple rather than the workflow through all these different deployment mechanisms, and I wrote up my results on Medium. So again, these different maps and articles might help you to find the most appropriate pathway for you. If this is really not of interest and you want to go to one of these specific areas, for example, you've decided you want to work on Terra, then go to that section. If you've decided that you want to work on containers, go to that section. But I did create this section in particular, starting with the simplest possible implementation, that's virtual machines, and going to the more layered implementations. So it's designed to be consumed in the order that it's written here with the 10 different sections. And I will be creating short screencasts in each of these pages with the examples to augment the written content as your guide.